Salute, 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 and welcome. Welcome back over here to the Black Ocean, ladies and gentlemen. You're now swinging in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And oh, yes, it is time. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to go back in on this accursed, demonic, anti-black racist donkey party, aka the Democrats. Oh, we gonna have a hell of a broadcast over here tonight. Let me go ahead and make something clear from the outset of this broadcast. If you are a bootlicking, Biden-sexual, butt-kissing Democratic shield, you're going to hate and curse my very name here tonight, because what I'm going to do is hit you with something that a lot of you in the Biden-sexual class hate. I'm going to hit you with some truth and some facts that you cannot deny. Oh, this one is going to hurt some feelings, ladies and gentlemen, but it is what it is, because over here, the only thing that we care about is presenting the truth to the people. Already we have people contributing to the broadcast tonight. I see my good brother Robin Harris. Thank you very much for that generous contribution, brother Robert Harris, on the Cash App. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this screen, and you know what this is. Now, a lot of y'all probably say, GBS, every time we turn around on Twitter, on your platform, you keep showing us this picture. You damn right. Because see, we're going to put this back in the Biden sexuals' faces, and it's time to keep it in front of our faces over here in the new black media, those of us that are on code, exactly the significance of this picture. What you're looking at is a picture of old Jim Crow Joe right after he got in office. On his desk in the Oval Office, stacked full of executive orders. Not a damn one of them is for black people. I challenge anybody to this day, find me an executive order out of this stack or any others that's specifically for black people. See, we're going to cover exactly what they have done and have not done for black people here tonight. Oh, yes, we are. I told you. We finna hurt some feelings here tonight. Salute to the brother Felton Robinson for the Cash App. Thank you very much, my brother. Salute to everybody that's contributing and will be joining us over here tonight. And as I was saying, we're gonna run them down tonight because, see, family, let's go ahead and make something plain. You know, I like to make it plain over here for my audience. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Now, let me make this clear at the onset of the broadcast. Those of you that are longtime listeners and subscribers of mine across all my platforms know this, but I need to go ahead and make this disclaimer. I am neither liberal nor conservative. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I am Team Black Empowerment. I'm somewhat of a political mercenary. What that means is you have to bring me proof of concept policy on what benefits my people, and then that's who gets my vote if I decide to vote for you. Now, if you don't bring me proof of concept policy, meaning that you have to give me something before I give you my vote, then you just won't get it. And even if you were to get it out of the party, that doesn't mean permanent loyalty. Oh, no. That means you got it this time. Come next election, whether it's local or on the federal level, you got to earn it again. I'll be like, okay, that's what I got last time. Now, here go what I need this time. And if you can't give me this, or at least meet a reasonable demand that I have, well, you can't get my vote. That's just how that works, because, see, let's get down to brass tacks. Voting is a business transaction, ladies and gentlemen. You take your feelings out of it. It's not about symbolism. It's not about liking things. It's not a popularity contest. It is a business transaction. It's a business transaction for you. It's a business transaction for your children and your grandchildren. And this foolishness of voting for benign neglect when we get nothing, that is suicidal. That nonsense has to stop. I'm going to make the case for it over here tonight. And by the time I finish this broadcast, like I said, all the Democrats that will subscribe to this channel, you're going to unsubscribe. You're going to tell your friends, oh, my God, he's terrible. I'm going to be on their hit list after this. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm going to speak the truth. But before we get into tonight's subject matter, I want to show you all something, right? I want to ask you a favor, because when we get rolling over here tonight, we ain't going to stop. This train ain't coming off the tracks until this broadcast ends. I need y'all to do me a favor. A lot of y'all probably know this good brother, but I want to show you something. Let me take my banner down for a second. If you all do not know who this brother's channel is on the screen, it's my good brother, Sincere Love to God. He just recently did a broadcast with another good brother of mine, Raheem Shabazz. Very, very talented documentary filmmaker. Raheem Shabazz is. He's done the Elementary Genocide series. If you haven't picked up those 3 documentaries, you need to go get them. Very relevant information for what's going on in our school system today with Black children. But Sincere Love the Guy was recently on my brother's podcast talking about his new album, The Master's Table. I would like you all, if you could, okay? I'm going to put this up again before the broadcast ends. I would like you all to go over there and subscribe to the brother's channel. Not only is he talking about the things that he's very talented at, if you go down the list in his archives, let me tell you something. Some of the best Black businesses from our community, people that are doing things for us without interest, are on this brother's channel. I'd be here all night if I tried to name them. Don't believe what I say. Anything that I tell you over here, I'd like you to put me to the test and go and search it out for yourself. So, family, if you're so inclined, please go over there and subscribe to my good brother's channel. Check out his content, and you will find something very useful over there. I don't care who you are. I promise you will, okay? Put your brother to the test on that, if you please, okay? So, his name is Sincere Love the Guy. This is his YouTube channel over there. Like I said, go over there, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn your notifications on. Educational content. If you enjoy what we present over here, you'll definitely enjoy what he and his co-host, Nicety Girl over there presents to you, okay? So with that said, I just want to take the time to put you up on my brother's channel in case you all haven't heard of him. But now, we got to get back to these low-down, dirty Democrats. Oh, yeah, we got to get back to these low-down, dirty Democrats because, see, the way we're going to kick this broadcast off tonight, we're going to take a trip down memory lane. And we're going to bring it back to present day. Oh, yeah, we're going to thread all the needles over here because, see, somebody's got to do this the right way. And I'm glad that we're at a point now as foundational Black Americans, particularly over here in this country, where we're starting to get on code on the grassroots. We're starting to gel with one another and get things done wherever we are. Salute to our brothers and sisters over there in California. They did excellent work over there with the reparations here, and I'm going to be reviewing a little bit of that here tonight to make the further point for what we're going to be talking about here also, okay? So before we get underway, let me go ahead, as usual, and greet some of my esteemed audience over here because I do think my audience is very esteemed, very intelligent over here. I think we have some of the smartest people on YouTube and an audience over here on this channel. Let me see who we have in the building. I see my sister, a Little Country Lamb over here, okay? To Stay Woke, GB King Harris, CRU Reality, the computer maker and beat maker over here. Go check out that brother's channel as well if you have not. Jason Ferreira in the building. Sister Only Pamela's Way. Hydroglyphic in the house. Rakeem Jackson in here. Wynn Robinson. I like that, brother. That's what I'm talking about. You got the right name. Diesel Mike in here. Goddess Navy, my moderator on deck. Sister Tasha Peters in the building. I see Kid Gravity Beyond in here. Salute to you, brother. Heat St. Cloud. Welcome everybody that's joining us and everybody that will be joining us. And again, before we get on the way, anybody just joining us, this is pretty much going to be the fatality on the donkey party here tonight. Oh, yeah. We finna issue some fatalities. This ain't Mortal Kombat, but it's finna be some fatalities over here tonight because it's going to be very damning. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get underway here. And we're going to go down memory lane, okay? We're going to go down memory lane. But see, before we do that, you know what? I'm not going to show that just yet. I'm going to wait. We're going to get some things out of the way first. I was going to show you something that was going to be very infuriating because it is to me, being a tax-paying American citizen and in the class of us that are neglected. But I'm going to save that until after we refresh your memory on all these promises old Jim Crow Joe made. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get the broadcast underway. And by the time this is over, I will give you something that will pretty much shame any bisexual or anybody except for that old crowd that's going to vote blue no matter who. They're done. Don't waste your time trying to even get them to come around with nothing. But if it's people with any ounce of intelligence, by the time you present this broadcast here in its entirety tonight to them, or any of the information, not even the whole thing, they ain't going to be able to argue with you. So let's go ahead and get started and get this education underway.
As well as conservatism and the problems of technology in America that's also going to make us push us in the underclass, is to teach you how to compete. We got to understand we got these problems, but you got to understand where the problems came from. And I want to give you a real fast education today, because the real clue to liberation is not only education, it's re-education. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. I'm going to show you how we got into our dilemma and how we must get out of it. Nothing has happened to black folk by accident. Everything that's happened to you has been systematically programmed through what I call social engineering. You are a victim of historical social engineering. Now let's go back and start dealing with some of these issues. And a lot of this would you also find covered in my book, Black Labor, White Wealth, and the other two books I got coming out this year. One is called Dirty Little Secrets, and the big one is called Powernomics. How do you do it? And Powernomics, if you want to know what Powernomics is, because I'm going to talk about it a little later, Powernomics is teaching my people a new way of seeing, thinking, and behaving. And that's what the whole thing will be about this morning. You got to change the way you're seeing and thinking and behaving. Why? Because I said we've been locked into an underclass structure, because we got two major problems in America. One problem is that maldistribution of wealth and resources that I told you about that's in South African America, where whites own and control everything. That's your number one problem. The second problem we're going to talk about this morning is the inappropriate behavior pattern of black folk. Those are the only two problems you have. I don't care what anybody else talks about in America. It's not worthwhile wasting your time. The problem in America is not drug abuse, crime, low-income housing, public housing, food stamps, welfare, teenage pregnancy. Those are symptoms of a problem.
So they came up with the do something for minorities. Well, we're going to do something for the poor. We're going to do something for the youth. We're going to do something for people of color. So they never really commit to black people. So we got to stop voting for people if they're not going to commit to us specifically.
All right. Now you heard what the good brother Tariq Nasheed had to say. Okay. Now, whether people agree with him or disagree with him, that made perfect sense. See, I have been taught this way in my family. The truth doesn't care who tell it. So I'm saying that for the people that may agree or disagree with the brother. Nobody's going to agree with anybody all the time. But when he's speaking to a specific point, as far as these reparations and the way these people are treating us in these political parties, primarily the Democrats right now, made perfect sense. So now we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. Remember this? Oh, yeah, we got to bring this back, because, see, a lot of times our people forget just how much we've been insulted. And the reason I'm putting this back before you is, as black people in America, we have been conditioned to accept mistreatment as the norm. I'm going to say it one more time. As black people in America, we have been conditioned to accept mistreatment as the norm. It is not normal for us to be mistreated or neglected this way. With everything that we put into building this nation, there wouldn't be an America without us. That's the bottom line, okay? So you have to put this type of information back before our people and remind us. You have to say that out loud. We are not supposed to be treated this way. Because, see, if you don't do that, and I know this sounds very simple, but think back to what our elder, Dr. Clark Anderson, said. The term social engineering conditions in society, they look at us like an experiment. See, when you or I look at each other, we just see another black person. We may have personal issues on an individual level here or there with brothers or sisters, but we do not see each other the way these people in power in the dominant society see each other and see us, okay? When they look at us like lab rats. If you don't believe me, I'm going to drop something on your mind that's going to absolutely back up what I'm saying before I play this. You think about your major cities. Back to business, let's just use New York, for example, and other cities of that size. Do you really think that people aren't sitting in these positions of power? Because we've seen leaked tapes, whether if you look at the situation with that racist, white Hispanic LA City Council out there, that leaked tape, remember that leaked audio? Where they sit in these meetings discussing how they're going to harm black people specifically. That's happening all over the nation, specifically in these metro cities, these larger cities. And you see how they're targeting black people now. We saw the murder and the cowardly brazen attack on our good brother Jordan Neely. May he rest in peace. And we're going to get justice for that, brother. We're not going to rest until we make them do the right thing and produce justice, okay? But you see what happens like that, right? They're trying to set a precedent now where that type of behavior is normalized. So why did I mention all of that? Well, Biden sexuals, you are to blame for this, because, see, when we tried to tell you all this over here on the black media, in the black media spaces, brothers and sisters, big channels, small channels, we tried to tell you, if you're not going to vote in the interest of black people, since neither candidate really had anything in our interest, hold your vote. Hold your vote. Couldn't do that. We got to get Trump out. Got to get Trump out. Oh, Biden is so much better than Trump. Oh, yeah? Really? Can anybody with half a brain tell me how Biden is so much better than Trump right now? Look at all this stuff that has happened to black people. It's went prophetically, unfortunately, like a lot of us in the black media said it would go. Oh, it didn't. I'm gonna prove it too, because you know the Biden central wonder over here. No, you got to give him a chance. Oh yeah, okay. You gonna really look extra triple coated stupid in a minute here when I finish playing this. Let's go back down memory lane before I get to that tonight though, because we gonna get there. Oh, we got time. I want you to listen to this because see, I'm playing this for a reason. Now that we reach a point on the grassroots where we're starting to get things done, what you do when you start having success, and this is an age-old lesson that has been taught to us by many grandmaster teachers, you don't celebrate. Oh, no. That's been our downfall too often. It's not time to celebrate. We hadn't got the work done yet. What you do is you go back and you study what went right and what went wrong in history and in recent history, not just past history, recent history, because this is recent history we're about to look at here. And then you examine what we should not have tolerated. And this is a starting point on what we should not have tolerated, because this was an insult to the collective self-esteem of black people and any of you bastards. And I'm saying it like it is. I'm not going to mince no words over here. Any of you bastards that went and voted for this motherfucker after he pulled this, something is wrong with you. And if you still think that way coming up to these 2024 elections, you're going to prove that you the group of our people that we have to write off. Because see, what you basically doing, like the old adage says, you're being the tree that votes for the damn axe to chop it down. I want y'all to listen to what this bastard said, and then we're going to come back and put some things in the context.
Long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
Vice President Biden said to a African-American, a Black American host on a show, even if you think about voting for Donald Trump, you're not black. To have that mindset, you must have the attitude that we Black Americans, we own you. We can take you for granted. That to me shows you that Black Americans are an appendage of a party.
Now, that was Bob Johnson, the sellout, former owner of BET, we know, but his statements stand true nonetheless, okay? His statements stand true nonetheless. I put that in there for a reason because, see, family, let me explain something to you. I said it before, when he made these statements, I'm going to say it again here today to remind us of why we must not cut them any slack. We can't go for the okie doke. We must demand proof of concept policy from either party, especially damn Democrats, though, meaning that you must come to me now with something in hand and prove where this has been going on to benefit us, or you get nothing. The same thing that you've given us is what you're going to get. Hand their asses back what they give you. Nothing. If you don't vote for free, you don't work. You don't work for free, you don't vote for free. I'm going to say it one more time. If you wouldn't work for free, do not vote for free. Okay, that makes no sense. Nobody in here listening to me, nobody that's catching this on the playback, none of you would get up and go to work for free. Stop voting for free. Okay, just had to get that out the way. So now what we're going to play next, even though we know her little hard-faced ass is a stomp down anti-black racist, and they love to play political football with certain issues, so I'm just getting that out of the way. I know that none of the Republicans, and particularly Ann Coulter, is for black people. They just use these to take shots at the Democrats. However, even a serpent is capable of speaking some truth. I want y'all to listen to what this little hard-faced heifer has to say, because she's not wrong about this. Let me let her talk.
Have treated blacks like children, and many of their policies have been harmful to blacks. At least they got the beneficiary group right. We do have to, I mean, we shouldn't there is the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. We don't owe the homeless. We don't owe feminists. We don't owe women who are desirous of having abortions, but that's, or gays who want to get married to one another. That's what civil rights has become for much of the left. They dropped the blacks after 5 minutes.
Immigrant rights are not civil rights?
No, I think civil rights are for blacks.
See, this is essentially the problem, and the Republicans
What have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country.
But you see, most of us are either immigrants or are the descendants of immigrants.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Now, you heard old Stoneface and Coulter. Now, I get it. She's quite hideous to look at. She is 100% team white supremacy. 100% team white supremacy, okay? Now, you heard her make the statement, which is historically true and can be verified. Those of us who are foundational black Americans that understand our history and pay attention to it, we know what she said is the truth. But immediately, the immigrant guy on the show started to give some pushback. Wasn't even worth hearing. Wasn't even worth hearing because, see, before I show you what I'm about to show you next here, I'm going to have you take a look at something real quick before we remind you of all these promises old Jim Crow Joe made about what he was going to do. Because, see, it goes without saying that black people in America are the base of the Democratic Party. And we tried to tell y'all what it was going to be if you put him in office. He was going to flood us with all these anti-black immigrants from all four corners of the globe. And unfortunately, yes, I have to say it, some of them have skin that looks like ours. I'm going there with it, damn it, and I'm going to prove it here tonight. I got to show you something, though, family, because, see, if you're a taxpayer, this is going to piss you off. Or it should. It should. Let me put this on the screen before we go down memory lane. Let me show you something. You see this? Oh, yeah, we got to take a look at some things right here. Oh, we got to take a look at some things. Oh, yes, we do. Got to show you something. Let me go ahead and put this over here so you can see it. Yep. Now, take a look at the picture on the left of your screen, okay? Take a good look at that picture. You would think that that's a 1,000,000-man march with what you're seeing right there on the left, right? A sea of people, as far as the eye can see. Now, I have a very intelligent chat room. Let me ask you a question. Where in the country do you think this is? What place do you think that is? I'm going to take a wild guess. And if you've been paying attention to current events, you should be able to guess very easily where this problem is located. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to put in the chat room before I say something. Give you a couple minutes to say something. My good brother KGB, Gravity Beyond. Oh, yes, Texas. Greg Abbott country. Oh, yeah. See, this is what he's dealing with. See, I'm going to piss some people off with the statement that I'm about to make, too. Okay? I'm going to piss some people off. Now that you've seen that, let me go ahead and put this on the screen, and I want this large so you all can see this because, see, we got to talk about this over here the right way. I'm going to tell you how you stop that problem. A lot of people not going to like what I have to say. Don't really care what they don't like. I'm not over here to be liked by any damn body. Let me explain something. This is how you stop that. We've seen how they can stop it if they want to. See, think back to when those Haitian migrants were on the border. Oh, yeah, we're going to go there. Remember that? Oh, boy, they broke out the old school white supremacy for that, didn't they? Oh, man, all these niggers coming over here. We can't have this. And see, a lot of you buck dancing buffoons in these other countries, you didn't understand why they did that. See, you thought you was going to be smart. Let's talk about it, right? Because I'm going to give you the solution to the problem. I love to talk solutions. What happened was they had all made their way over to South America, as my good brother Torian Rain calls them, the South of the Borderians. Okay, they walked down there and they said, okay, if we can get to South America, we'll just waltz right into America with the rest of them. But see, what you didn't understand was what we've been telling you for all this time. Racism and white supremacy is global. They didn't want you coming up here. They want those white Hispanic and white adjacent people to come up here so that they can try to pad their numbers. Your black ass didn't fit into that, Haitians. We tried to tell you. But those of you that come over here, you black people are lazy, this, that, and the third, all the little crap that you be talking about, they showed you in real time in 48 hours how quickly they could clear your asses out of there if you wasn't the right color. Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did. So now, if they wanted to apply that same strategy to them, they could do it. Because, see, I'm going to tell you how you stop that side of the border problem. Let's get into the solution. Because, see, when I play this for you, if you think what I'm about to say is going to be extreme, you're going to change your mind. Because, see, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A video is worth 1,000,000. What you do is simple. Trump had it partially right, and I'm no Trump supporter. He had it partially right with the build the wall. Remember that statement? No, fuck a wall. A wall could be part of it. Let me tell you what you do. That entire stretch of the Texas border on up into Southern California, this is what you need to do to solve this problem. They enact eminent domain to destroy black neighborhoods back in the day, right? We've all seen that, right? Everywhere we see a freeway, eminent domain, black neighborhoods. Well, what you need to do, go ahead and confiscate up to 15 to 20 miles coming in from that southern border, and you take that entire border and build the largest National Guard and Reserve military base. So that way, if you did make it across the border, you got to cross 15 to 20 miles of military base before you even get into Texas. Problem fucking solved. Right there. Now, somebody tell me that ain't gonna solve the problem. How you gonna get in the country if you got to cut through a military base? The only way you would get in then is if somebody in the military let your punk ass in. So you can shut this shit down if you want to. The other way to solve the problem, start locking up these white business owners that hire them and pay them under the table so they don't have to take no taxes out. Start prosecuting the people that give them a place to stay. Because, see, you can't just come in here and have no place to stay and see any fool like the bastard up there, Eric Adams. You taking these people, because Greg Abbott is shipping them up to New York. You taking these people and putting them in luxury hotels and feeding them gourmet food of our tax dollars. You a damn fool if you vote for somebody like Eric Adams. But what I just said was solve the damn problem. And I'm going to take it a step further. You come into this country illegally. You breaking the laws. There are places within the United States where if you set foot on their property beyond a certain point, they will shoot your ass. And we're citizens. You mean to tell me you ain't going to have that same policy for that border? Yes, I said it, goddammit. See, you come here and you bleaching off of my taxpayer dollars. And on top of that, then when your ass get here, you against black people? Oh, no, I am going to take the stance that I'm saying. Oh, yeah. See, a lot of teleclare, why y'all don't talk about the Mexicans? Oh, I talk about them all. If you come over here and you're an anti-black racist, everybody get the same treatment from me. I'm telling you, that'll solve that problem right there. Militarize that entire border. Hell, you in the National Guard and Reserve, you need something to do anyway. You need something to do anyway. And when I said, like I said, the entire stretch of that should be one big, long-ass military installation. That's what that should be. Like I said, make it to be the span of about 15 to 20 miles before you come across into Texas. That's it. That's the end. That's the end of that. And then, if you just want an extra layer of security, then you have your wall on the back end of it. So, okay, if you did somehow manage to Batman your way through all of that military base, you got that big-ass wall to deal with. Yeah, tell me that ain't going to solve the problem. Come on now. Yeah, see, these are the things y'all need to be putting on their ass because, see, Greg Abbott, I'm going to tell you something. Dude, you's a punk. You a punk. You the governor. You can mobilize. You see, they'll mobilize the National Guard and everything for black people if we get out with signs and protests. But you won't mobilize them to stop these motherfuckers from entering our country illegally? See, let me stop talking. Let me show you why I'm as pissed off as I am about that. I'm going to show you something, man, and I don't know if you all ever seen this. If you thought that picture was bad, oh, no, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me let you take a look at something real quick. Yeah, that's just how bad it is, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? So for anybody that, man, he being extreme, he being xenophobic, and whatever other name you want to call me. Nah, man, that's how it's looking, man, in these areas where they just done crossed over like that, just let them walls in. See, you can't go to China and pull that. You damn sure not gonna do it in Russia. You can't go to anybody's country and pull that and you just show up in droves and then just stay there. And then the damn government turn around and start subsidizing your lifestyle. You here illegally. Motherfucker, you don't have no rights. And you're not entitled to my taxpayer dollars neither. In any shape, form, or fashion. But see, I feel that way, but you know who doesn't? Oh, you know who doesn't, ladies and gentlemen? As some of you bisexuals call him Uncle Joe. Yeah, Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe is doing everything for them, and they don't even have citizenship or rights here. The further insult to injury, everything that they're getting are things that we have fought for and put in place. But see, oh, you know, that video I just showed and the picture there, oh, that's nothing. That's just me exaggerating. What do I know, right? Hey, so you know what we gonna do, family? Because, you know, I just be running my mouth over here. I don't be talking about nothing. I'm going to let Uncle Joe talk to you and go back to the beginning of his campaign. Because, see, I love this. See, we're at a time period now where there's enough of us who are paying attention to what actually affects us. And I don't forget nothing. I don't forget nothing. I remember everything. And I'm going to make sure my people remember, too. Let's play what old Jim Crow Joe had to say during his inauguration speech, shall we? Let's let him talk.
All those of you who volunteered and worked the polls in the middle of this pandemic, local elected officials, you deserve a special thanks from the entire nation. And to my campaign team and all the volunteers and all who gave so much of themselves to make this moment possible, I owe you. I owe you. I owe you everything. And to all those who supported us, I'm proud of the campaign we built and ran. I'm proud of the coalition we put together, the broadest and most diverse coalition in history. Democrats, Republicans, independents, progressives, moderates, conservatives, young, old, urban, suburban, rural, gay, straight, transgender, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. I mean it, especially those moments, and especially those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb. The African-American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours. I said at the outset, I wanted to represent this campaign to represent and look like America. We've done that. Now that's what I want the administration to look like and act like for all those.
So that was your boy Jim Crow Joe right there. Yeah, y'all remember that? All them promises old Jim Crow Joe made to everybody what he was gonna do. See, here's the thing. Everybody that he named to that campaign just removed black people from it, and that's everybody that he's done something for. All you have to do is look at the policies. Black people couldn't even get in on the Asian hate crime bill. Your Congressional Black Caucus was completely silent. They didn't even say, okay, if you're going to do this, you need to put black people in here because according to the FBI crime statistics, we're the one that suffered the hate crimes most, going on back 20-something years. Go look it up. Don't take my word for it. Everything I say, I want you to go and look up, okay? Look at the FBI crime statistics and look at who's been the victims of the most hate crimes. It damn sure ain't Asians, not even by a sight close, okay? That was the biggest finesse ever. They running around talking about how afraid they are of black people, but all your damn businesses over here in black neighborhoods. Foolishness. Absolute foolishness. But then you had some of our people, I remember during that time, stop Asian hate. Really? What do we do to anybody, huh? In large numbers. As a collective, we don't do nothing to people. But see, the people that target them, they don't dare speak up because, see, I'm going to lay it down plain so even the tether class not from here can understand it. So tether class, pay attention. East Indians, Asians, the white Hispanics, okay, that come over here. All those other groups that come over here and are allowed to be classified as white are used as anti-black buffer class groups. And you, the tether class, not all, the tether class specifically, from the Caribbean and African nations that come over here and jump on that bandwagon, that's the part where you can't follow any further. See, they're not going to let you be classified as white, so you don't get any of them benefits. So when you start hating on foundational black Americans and trying to undermine us, you're not getting nothing out of it. You're not getting nothing out of it. You pathetic working against your people instead of working with us so that you can get things fixed in your country where you don't have to run and put your flea bag shoes on. But see, I'm gonna digress from that because see, I got to go ahead and show you something, right? In case anybody was discouraged by that, don't be discouraged because see, before we get into the next part of this, we got to acknowledge the brothers out here that are actually speaking up for our people the way we should be spoke up for. And that's not sitting here and let these people play with us like this. I got to show y'all something, right? Got to show y'all something. Let's slide this on over. Oh yeah, we're gonna acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged right here because see, this is the right spirit to have, and it's a teaching tool for the younger black people on how you're supposed to conduct yourself when you do get a chance to speak for your people. I know y'all recognize this, right? Okay, this is our good brother Tariq Nasheed up here. I'm going to adjust this screen accordingly so y'all can see this. I want y'all to listen to what our brother said here recently at the California Reparations hearing when he was given a chance to speak. And yes, we all know that a lot of the plebiscite babblers and the goofballs, they didn't cut their time. But see, this was an excellent way on how you conduct yourself when you stay focused and you bring the main issues to the forefront when you have a limited time to speak. And before I let this play, let me not only acknowledge our California brothers and sisters, let me give you a strategy on how to handle this when they try to cut your time. Let me show you what you do. Those of you that are in these areas where they're having these reparations hearings, but primarily California, okay, here's how you handle when they cut somebody's time like they did Brother Tariq. Before the hearings, okay, once you find out the date that the hearing is, get together in groups that are like-minded, those of you that are actually about putting in some work on the ground, get together, go over the information that you're going to present if you happen to get an opportunity to speak. And this is how you handle that. I call it the pass the baton strategy. What do I mean by that? Okay, I'm going to tell you. What should have happened was there should have been enough people on the same page as Brother Tariq to understand what he was saying. And when they cut him off, the next person that got up there that's from our lineage, I'd like to continue on where Brother Tariq left off as he was saying XYZ 1, 2, 3. That's how you handle that. See, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the era of the information age. We're in the era of an understanding and we're on code more than we ever have. That pass the baton method is how you beat them when they call themselves trying to cut somebody off that's making a valid point. See, you can get up there and babble all you want, but when you talking sense like this brother was here, they're like, oh, no. And so for those of you that didn't catch this, I'm going to play what I'm talking about, but keep that strategy in mind. Like I said, get together in groups before the date of these hearings, discuss what you're going to say, and have it set up to where if a brother or sister doesn't get to finish their point, you go ahead and briefly articulate that and make your statement on top of that. See, that's what teamwork is all about, okay? So I'm going to play what the brother was saying here on both of these clips. I want y'all to pay attention to this because this is important for young black people to understand and learn how to emulate this when they go into a city council meeting, wherever we are and we're discussing our issues. This is how you do it right here.
Marcus Hunter, Sharice Pryor, and Constance French. If you are those people and have numbers through 30, please line up, and that will conclude the in-person. So, sir?
Much respect to all the brothers and sisters here in the Bay Area, first of all. I want to make 3 quick points about reparations and then let our other brothers and sisters speak. First thing, we have to understand we have to focus and keep the emphasis on it being lineage-based. The problem is we see a lot of trick bag language being mixed into it where it opens the floor for other groups to come in and undermine us. Reparations in the form of lineage-based compensation is not a compensation for racism. Let's be very clear. If we open the door to racism, Hispanics can come in, Asians can come in, Middle Eastern people can come in. It will become affirmative action again, where we are left holding the crumbs and everybody else is holding the cake. So we have to focus on the lineage-based reparations, especially the agreement that our foundation of Black American lineage approved. Black American lineage approved out here in California. In California, this was a state that allowed slavery. People say that this wasn't a slave state. There was informal slavery here. The only reason they made it a technicality to make slavery illegal in California, they didn't want the white wealthy slave owners back east coming here getting all the prime real estate. They had slavery out here. Our foundation of Black American brothers and sisters and our ancestors were out here working enslaved. San Bernardino, California was a slave colony. There were slave colonies here around the Bay Area. We couldn't get out of slavery because they made it illegal for black people to testify against white people. That's how they trick-bagged us up into slavery here. We have to be compensated for that. The second thing is we can't include all of these other groups with our reparations package. We hear a lot of Black and Native American. We hear a lot of Black and brown. That won't work either. All of these other groups, they've been compensated. Every single group besides Foundation of Black Americans has been compensated. White slave owners were compensated. White immigrants in the 1800s were compensated with the Homestead Act.
Thank you so much for your comments this morning. And next, thank you so much for coming out. And
All right, so family, see, that's how you do it right there. You go up there and you articulate your points and see, let's talk about why he was effective within the short amount of time that they gave him. And salute to the sister Camilla Moore for doing her part to make sure that it's lineage based and trying to fight for the right thing as far as our people allowing us to be heard. But see, let's explain why Brother Tariq was so effective with what he just did. Especially for you young people, pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Ladies and gentlemen, knowing our history is a asset and it's a tactical weapon when you use it the way Brother Tariq did and those clips that I just played for you. It's a tactical weapon. You state the facts. It is making sense of why we're old, our specific lineage, no one else, not any other group, as he made plain. And then when you're able to do that, you saw how some of them were looking because, see, if you could have seen the looks on some of their faces, and salute to my good brother Black Voltron, he was there and spoke as well, okay? When you see some of the look at some of the people that were there to undermine us, oh, man, they were sick. Oh, you should have seen it because, see, they're not accustomed to us speaking this way before or a crowd like that when it comes to what's in our best interest. See, again, it goes back to what Dr. Claude Anderson said about social engineering. We've been conditioned to be in a perpetual slave mindset, meaning we put everybody else above us, above our needs, okay? We're going to break that chain, all right? We're going to break that chain. So that's one method that you could use that I said earlier, the pass the baton method. When a brother or sister is up there and they cut their time, you go up there, you should be well-versed enough on history and present-day events to finish that statement and make the point and bring it on home, and you keep it going just like a chain. And see, let me make this further point before we analyze what our good brother Phil is about to say here, okay? Here's the thing. When you start hearing a lot of people, and I want to teach y'all this. I want y'all to remember what I'm about to say so you can go ahead and shut people down when they try this BS. When people are talking about, what's the code? How do you stay on code? What the code mean? I'm going to tell you what that means. Every black person under the sound of my voice knows what it means to be on code. And I'm going to give you two reasons. The first reason outside of our community is you see what on code is because all you have to do is look at how the dominant society practices anti-black racism and white supremacy against us. Case in point, with our good brother, the departed Jordan Neely, who is an upstanding, that's the hero in my mindset, not that coward Daniel James Penny that murdered him. The media outlets all stayed on code trying to keep his name from us. And then you remember when I made that announcement, I told y'all that wasn't going to last for long. See, you've often heard me make the statement over here, silent brotherhood, loud results. If you know what that means, you know what it means. We go to work on things like that. Those of us that you don't often see out here, just know we're working. But see, that's how you know how to stay on code. They've done it. And I'm going to tell you how you know how to do it in our community. This is the second point I'm going to make. Anytime that any of us, and I'm putting myself in this, Anytime that any of us in black society in America decided to go do something that wasn't productive, goofing off, whatever the case may be, we all got together and we figured out how to do that, didn't we now? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that requires you to be on code. Basically, being on code is being on the same wavelength. For example, let's look at it this way. If you and a group of people decide, hey, man, the Jay-Z concert gonna be in town, man. I'm going to that, man. Y'all going? Yeah, man. It's gonna be here on the 27, 28, whatever. I'm going, man. So you making your plans to go. You setting things in order to make sure that you get to that concert. If you accomplish that, guess what you exhibited? How to be on code. That's all that is. Everybody getting on the same page, executing to make something happen. In black society, we do that all across the board with things that are not of any consequence or any benefit to us. So now what those of us in new black media are saying, it's time to apply that same mindset to things that benefit our people in our community. So anybody start talking about what's the code? How do you do that? How are we going to get on code? Go ahead and tell them what I just said. Ironclad logic. Only a fool or somebody that's gaslighting will try to argue with what I just said. There you have it. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to analyze this with me, because our brother Phil here is about to make some very good points. See, we finna bury this Democratic Party over here tonight. We finna bury him tonight. I want y'all to listen to what Brother Phil is about to say here. We're going to break this down and make some different points here, because this brother right here, I can't disagree with nothing that he said about him. Let's let him all speak here.
We know the 2024 election will be coming up shortly, and already the Democrat shills in the black community has already started to trot out to start to do their work. Now, what is their work? Their work is to come out and start the fear-mongering campaign to make black people so afraid to go vote for them. You know that your party sucks when you have to fearmonger people to vote for you. Instead of presenting something that they can get down with, policies that they would be interested in, no, you have to fearmonger about the other side. Now, I want you to watch Joy Reid, Democrat Shield, MSNBC host Joy Reid, go out and start the fear-mongering campaign. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Listen, friends, you need to hear me. The Republican Party, at this stage in its development, is at war with the rest of us. They're at war with women, and women, if you think they're going to stop with just outlawing the abortion pill, you got another thing coming. When they're done getting a national ban on abortion, which is what they're going for, they're coming for your birth control. And when they're done with that, they're going to move on to LGBTQ rights. They're coming for gay marriage. Don't think that you, if you're LGBTQ, but you're rich and affluent and Republican, that you're safe, because they're coming for your rights too. They're coming for all non-white immigration. Because look, if they can force American women to give birth, who needs immigration? They'll just replenish the impoverished, desperate workforce with poor people. They force American women and girls, little girls, teenage girls, and younger to make. They're coming for workers' rights, because once they have their population of low-wage workers, why give them any rights? Why give them the right to unionize? Why give them any rights at all? Give them low wages and then give them nothing else. They're coming for education, because the last thing you want is an educated workforce, are educated people who know history and know enough about history to see what they're doing. They're coming for your books. They're coming for Black history. They're coming for Holocaust history. They're coming for the history of all non-white people, and they're going to erase it from our schools. And one thing that they will never do is protect a single child from getting slaughtered in school, because their only true worship is guns. They're going to allow as many assault weapons to flood our society and our schools as the gun manufacturers want to put out there. And then they're going to demand that all of the people who they control whether they give birth, who they control whether they can vote, who they control whether they can marry, whether they can see a drag show or perform in one. They're going to force every single one of those people to subject themselves to constant risk of death. Getting shot down at school, at the Walmart, at the top supermarket, at the mall, at a parade, at a concert, walking down the street. 3rd grade, 4th grade, 12th grade, they don't give a damn how many people die. They're coming for black power. You think they're going to stop with what they did in Tennessee? Florida Republicans are already studying that and saying we can do the same thing. You think they're going to stop by just evicting troublemaking black lawmakers in one state? Anyone who displeases them is on the menu. So if you don't comply, they'll just throw you out of your state house. They want one-party state. They're coming for our literal freedom, our freedom of movement. This law that says that in Idaho you can't leave your state to get abortion care. Well, I mean, what will it matter now once they make the pill illegal everywhere? They're coming for blue states. They don't care if you live in a state where you have liberal government and where you have a liberal population. They sure don't care about that in Nashville. They want every state to comply. They want to turn every state into their white Christian nationalist hell that they control. And then they're going to curtail your voting rights so you can't undo it.
Not as you.
Now, you heard the bootlicking Democrat tether class shield, Joy Ann Reid, spewing all that nonsense, right? And before we let our good brother Phil give his analysis here, I have to interject something before we do that. See, I'm going to introduce that controversial word back into the lexicon that you know they love to accuse foundational black Americans of. And I'm going to introduce it in 2 different ways. Ladies and gentlemen, the word starts with a D and it ends with an N. Division. Oh, yes, division. I'm going to give it to you 2 ways. See, let me be clear on something right quick. First and foremost, 87% of black women voted for the Democrats. 85% of black men voted for them. Now, the large majority of both of those numbers were that old Negro class that's going to vote blue no matter who, and a lot of these goofy bisexuals that were in the 30 and up class. First, let me address sisters with something, okay? When it comes to division, it's good if you're dividing from something that's a detriment to your people, okay? So that whole division word, you start embracing it. Yes, it is good to divide from something that's a detriment to you. Here's the other way I need for our sisters to start thinking of division. Because, see, I know most of you who are listening to me in new black media spaces over here on different platforms. I know most of you get it, but I want to thread a needle on this. See, sisters, you need to be concerned about the other type of division called math, okay? Start looking at it this way. Instead of all that foolishness Joy Ann Reid was talking about, you need to start thinking in terms of numbers. What have they done for you, this Democratic Party, in terms of numbers that earns, keyword, earns your vote? I'm going to make a controversial statement to my sisters over here. A lot of people ain't going to like me for this. I don't really care about that. I'm not in the business of being liked. Give 2 shits about who likes me. What I want you to do for me, ladies, and not even just for me, for yourselves. Let's put it that way. Do it for yourselves. It would make me happy if you adopted this mindset. I need for you to consider your vote as personal and as intimate as if it's a part of your body. Those of you that are decent, that have some type of standards, you're not going to just give that to anybody. I need you to think of your vote in the same terms of when somebody asks you for your vote for free, look at it as if they're asking you for some nookie for free. Oh, yeah, I got to go there with it. Oh, yeah, I got to go there with it. Well, in other words, let's put it this way. What have they done to qualify for getting your vote? Yeah, I got to go here with it because see, it should be that personal to you because it affects your future, your children's future, and your grandkids' future. Start thinking about it in those terms, ladies, because see, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say it again. Voting is a business transaction. See, most of the brothers, we going to get it right this time around. I didn't vote for them bastards, okay? I didn't. I refuse to vote for any of them unless black empowerment is on the table. You're going to have to start talking reparations for me, anti-black hate crime bill, and we're going to take it from there. And then the next go around, we're going to have some more things we're going to need you to get done. That's where most of the men are leaning towards it because, see, you remember Tiffany Cross-Eyes, who they made an example of her ass, and she started looking at all these failures, these bootleg Democrat shills that was on these networks. Look at how white supremacy is breaking these tools right in front of our eyes in real time. Tiffany Cross, black men need to get in line with black women. Okay, you can't even get in line to keep your job. How you going to instruct us on what we need to do? And see, as far as what Joanne Reed was saying is talking about this, abortion that. First of all, no, abortion is not health care. What you need to do is be more responsible with who you choose to be intimate with, and you won't have to worry about having no damn abortion in the first place. We need to get our numbers up. They don't need to go down. No, you are responsible. Unless somebody forces themselves on you, you are responsible for who you choose to get pregnant by. Now it's time to start thinking like adults. See, I don't treat our women like children. I know what you're capable of, and I believe in you. So I'll tell you the truth, even if it pisses you off. You have to start making more responsible decisions in who you choose to allow inside you. And if you produce a baby, make sure it's somebody that wants to start a family with you and give you their last name. So for the women that think like that, they're not worried about none of that foolishness that Joanne Reed was talking about. But see, family, let me show you something, right? I'm going to see if I can find something that I need to put into the chat room here, okay? And if I can't find it right now, I'm going to put it in the chat room after the broadcast. Because, see, this is something very important that our sisters need to be paying attention to. Oh, yeah. See, when it comes to, and salute to Edward Berry for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. But see, I want to impress upon our sisters to start thinking like this. Start thinking in terms of math and numbers. What are you going to do for me? I need to see it. I need to make it count. You need to start thinking about it like, hey, if I'm not going to work for free, you can't get my vote for free. Well, what you got for me? When they run up in your face talking about policy this, policy that, okay, you don't need to hear nothing about nobody else's policy except for what they're going to do for black people. Because they, look, let's make it plain while I'm trying to find this, right? Do you think for any fraction of a second that they go and speak before an Asian crowd, an East Indian crowd, an Arab crowd, whichever other group they're going to try to seek their vote from, you think they start talking to them about black issues? They know not to ever start bringing up other people's issues when they're trying to get the Hispanic vote or whatever group vote they're trying to get. Them people will run them out of there, man. So now the question that I ask of you, to my sisters in specific, when they start trying to lump you in with other groups, you see these other groups don't give two shits about you. And I'm going to prove it. Think about it. When's the last time any of these other groups stepped up and spoke up for Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Ayanna Jones? You think about it. Rekia Boyd, when have they ever stepped up and said, you know what? Those black women are our sisters. We need to help them get justice. See, I'm taking the men out of it for a second. Never mind black men for a minute. I'm going to make the case here tonight. Why should you be lumped in with them when they don't even view any of your issues as a priority? You see what I'm saying? See, I like to give it to you in a way where you can analyze it. Even if you don't like it, you can say, you know what? Damn it, that brother got a point. I'm going to drop an article into the chat. I want all black women over here in attendance to research this article. It's an older article, but it's one that's very relevant and germane to your situation. And it's something the Democrats aren't really talking about. See, when it comes to numbers, salute to my good brother Information Man Show. Hey, everybody should subscribe to that brother's channel. He has excellent information over there. Hence the name Information Man. But when it comes to numbers, you need to understand something. So you've been run a game on, okay? They've been playing you. And see, I'm going to explain how. Let's go down the line with it, right? See, this is the mark of a man that truly cares about you and his community. So when you hear other men speaking like this, don't think we're being harsh. We love you. We don't. What makes us angry is seeing you get played, okay? We don't like that. Notice the narrative they keep pushing, talking about black women are the most educated, black women are the most educated. Okay, fine. I love education. We need education. That's very important. However, what is the cost of the education? You're going to college, you're getting bullshit liberal arts degrees, which don't pay anything. Then when you get out, you strapped with $100,000+ of debt, and you can't get a job in your field to start paying down the debt. So you see how that's a backhanded compliment. That article that I just put in the chat, I'm going to put it in there again because I want all of you women to study this. See, you got to start paying attention to numbers. Because see, one of the things that they do to you, my sisters, my dear sisters who I love dearly, even if you think that I'm speaking harshly, bear with your brother. I'm doing it so that you can get a win out of this instead of being played by these damn demonic donkey party devils over in the Democratic Party. What I'm saying to you is this. That article that I just put in the chat room twice, bookmark and save that article. You need to be studying that in groups, sharing that with younger black women and say, hey, man, our financial situation is in trouble. Because, see, nowhere in this country are you out earning black men. Let's be clear on that now. You're not. They're fluffing your heads up, making you feel a certain way. Do you hear me? And I'm not chastising you for that. Women are women. We love you. Your feelings are important. What I'm saying to you is don't let anybody manipulate your feelings, especially these goddamn devils that are playing us. See, the bottom line must come down to tangibles, okay? Not symbolism, not them putting Ketanji Brown Jackson in a Supreme Court position. What the fuck she gonna do for black people? What the fuck she gonna do for black women? She can't even define what a woman is. You really think that that's a credit? That's a gift to us? Okay? See, I'm going to make it plain before I let my good brother Phil speak here. I want y'all to study that article. I put it in there twice. You know what? Damn it. It's important. I'm putting it in there 3 times because, see, you got to start paying attention to these numbers because now they've got you in a pincer play. They want you dependent on them. See, you know how all of our sisters are talking about the businesses they start, and I encourage entrepreneurship over here. I encourage it very much. But see, think about it. Do they have any tax cuts for you as a new entrepreneur? They give them to everybody else. Think back to the beginning of this broadcast. If you just joined us over here, go and look at the beginning of that broadcast. I put that picture up there for a reason. Joe Biden sitting in that office, in the Oval Office with a stack of executive orders, not one of them for any black person, not black women, not black nobody, okay? None. You better start looking at these people when they come to you and they present Kamala Harris or whoever as some symbolism. Hey, you need to tell them, hey, listen, I can't pay my bills off symbolism. This business I just opened up, that symbolism ain't a tax credit for me, okay? This symbolism ain't gonna help me put my babies in college. It's not gonna help me keep a roof over my head. Groceries in my refrigerator. It's not gonna help keep my lights turned on. You understand me? See, it's time to hold these bastards to the fire, sisters. I get it. I understand. A lot of y'all was scared to death of Trump. A lot of black people in general, but they really played on black women's fears about Donald Trump. Let me tell y'all something, right? Listen to your brother right now. I'm going to offer you some reassurance because, see, we got to get through this together. I'm not talking down on you. We need you. That's the reason I'm pleading with you over here. We need you. We cannot do this without you. We need our women to be on code with our men with a solid agenda and a game plan that's going to help our communities. This shit that they fed you, we've seen this experiment long enough. Joe Biden has been in office long enough now to do something specifically that would help us, and you wouldn't need to question it because, see, if somebody does something for you, let's put it in these terms. If somebody does something for you and it's really a benefit, you see it right away. They don't need to tell you they're doing something. It's evident. You see what I'm saying? If somebody is really for you in their community, okay, in your community, they don't have to tell you, hey, yeah, you know, we did this, we did this. No. You're going to see it. You're going to see the improvement in the economics in your community and everything, okay? So now when these people get up here specifically and they start talking about people of color, first of all, I've always told you all this. If people are too ashamed to use the word black, then are they truly worthy of your vote to represent you? Think about that now. Somebody's so ashamed of you that they can't say black. But they can say it to each and every one of these other individual groups when they go to these different speeches. They're not ashamed to say Asian. They're not ashamed to say Hispanic. Okay, what East Indian, whatever community they're going to, they can say that. When it comes to you, people of color and lumping in anti-black groups that can't stand y'all sisters out here. For those of you in the workforce, you see how these people are when they come over here and they look down on you. It's time out for that. And see, I'm speaking encouragement into our sisters because you are a very important part of us getting where we need to be as a community understand something. It's time for you to get what you're supposed to get. We can do that together. Because, see, the brothers, we're going to make sure that we take care of business, okay? Those of us that are on code over here on the grassroots, we're going to take care of business. That's why we pushing for these reparations, and we're not backing down. We're not letting them change the language on it. And we got the sisters that are integral in this, too. But, see, my point is this. We work better as a unit when we have a unified plan. Doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything. The one thing we need to agree on is the main issue that is time out for us accepting benign neglect. You know what? Not benign neglect. Let me be specific. Malevolent neglect. It's time out for that. We can't afford to keep doing that. And see, we can make these people produce justice, but we have to be on code together, okay? I want you sisters to study that article, because it's one. I just put it in there 3 times. Study that article, and you read through that, and you start thinking in terms of, okay, no, I ain't got time to be playing with no damn symbolism. If this heifer that they putting up here that look like me ain't talking about what she gonna do for me and my people, you got to go. You can't get my vote. So you're gonna have to get cutthroat with them like that and show them that, hey, that little crap you tickling my ears, nah, you're gonna have to tickle this bank account. That's what you're gonna have to do. Oh yeah, you finna have to show them they're gonna have to come with them tangibles and get out our face, okay? That's the mindset that we got to be on. But see, I want y'all to listen to what the brother Phil is about to say here, because he's going to thread some more needles on this. Let's let the brother speak.
Heard Joy Reid is an actor, and she's acting very well. I paid attention to the inflection of her voice. I paid attention to the look of despair that she had. Oh, she's a trained actress, isn't she? Because she has to get you to be afraid, because that's how they keep their jobs. I told you the Democrat shills keep their checks by keeping you afraid and running to vote Democrat. As long as they can deliver you to the Democrat Party, that's how they keep their checks going. Now, the wonderful thing about people like myself is that I've been in the game for a little while, and I have seen the tactics of their election cycles. And ever since 2016, for sure, and on, they have been pushing this fear-mongering campaign. They really turned it up a notch in 2020. And unfortunately, it worked on a lot of you black people. It worked. Now, black men, some of the black men saw the light. They didn't fall for the okie doke. But a lot of the black women, and the majority of black men too, fell for the okie doke in fear, because they say, oh, Lord, them Trump and the Republicans going to get y'all. Oh, they're going to put y'all in Jim Crow. It's going to be like slavery. They're going to take your rights away. They're going to do all this stuff. And then when Biden got in there, the first thing Biden and the Democrats done was demonize the black community. Say that the black community was the one that was attacking Asians. Oh, right off the rip. He wasn't even in there, not even a year yet. And him and the left-wing CNN was propagandizing to get a bill for those people. You the one who went out there and voted for them. That man was so disrespectful to y'all and said that if you don't vote for me, you not black. Because he know that y'all have a sick attachment to the white supremacists that's on the left side too. And that you feel that if you don't have attachment to your Democrat slave master, who is a devil, you don't know what to do with yourself. Black people got to really look at ourselves and look at the sick attachment that you have to the white supremacists. Because it's not all them. A lot of it is you. I'm going to say just about 75% of it is you. And the rest of it is them. And the reason why they can be successful at some things because you actively participate in a system to help harm and hurt your own people. You do this. Instead of calling out the Joy Reids of the world and the Bootleg Martins and all the other ones, Reverend Barber and all the other ones, Al Sharpton, all the ones who's out there bootlicking and shining for the Democrat Party, delivering you up, give you nothing. Joy Reid had the nerve to say that they will take away black power. What power has the Democrat Party offered to black people as a whole? Not people like Joy Reid who get her check. Not people like the rest of the shills we see out here. They get their checks. Who's part of the Jack and Jill? Who's part of the CBC? Who's part of the Bootleg? Not them. But what power has the Democrats offered or did anything to negotiate with Black America, Joy? Come on, Joy, you shouldn't have said that. You should have kept it on abortion. You should have kept it on the LGBT. You should have kept it on immigration. You should have kept it all there. But the moment you brought up Black power, now I say, she talked too far. The Biden administration hasn't done a thing for Black people as a collective. Once again, we were celebrating Juneteenth in the state of Texas ever since I've been born. Ketanji Brown Jackson, that does not benefit Black people. That is symbolism and nothing for the collective of Black people. We reject symbolism. We reject anything like that that's not going to do nothing for the people. And we're going to call out the symbolism. It is symbolism. That's all it is. You try to talk about, first Black woman vice president. That woman only Black when it conveniences her. 1 minute she Asian, next minute she Black, next minute she Indian, next minute she whatever she want to be. We haven't had a Black one. Only Black one we really had, let's call it what it is, who can't play both sides, was Michelle Obama. But the Democrat Party and their shills, they're going to be on this campaign, ladies and gentlemen, from now until 2024, when you go out there for election. They're going to be fear-mongering. Everything's the Republicans' fault, like they didn't have no hand with anything. Oh, they're going to do this to you. Oh, they're going to do that to you. Oh, look, Black people. Oh, they're going to put Jim Crow on you. Oh, look at this, look at that. They're going to do this. I'm telling y'all, like the sun is rising, they going to fear-monger you. Then after the fear-mongering, they're going to start the shaming tactics. They're going to call us out. All of us are speaking against them. They're going to call us out by name, probably some of us, right? Talking about trying to challenge us. It is so bad. They say as of right now, the DNC don't even want to do no debates. Do you know why the DNC don't want to do any kind of debates right now when it comes to the presidential election? Because the guy they want to run can't speak for himself. He has to have cue cards, somebody telling him what to say, how to say it, what reporter to ask a question to, and the reporter already turned in their question, so he already know the answer to give them. I was today laughing at some the press conferences that Trump had during the virus. I was laughing. That junk was entertainment. But you know what? At least Trump would take questions. Even if he go in on you, at least he was taking questions from people. He wasn't dodging them. He wasn't turning away. He wasn't looking at every cue card every time. I'm not saying he didn't have notes. People have notes, but Biden has instructions. You understand? The man needs to retire. The man needs to go on with his grandkids, go enjoy his life. And that's what he needs to go do in Delaware. Go enjoy his life. But when it comes to this election, no, I am standing completely against every Democrat shield out there, because these Democrat shields, every time they have proven themselves to be an enemy of the collective of Black people, because they don't care about you. They don't come where you at. They don't engage your conversations. They don't do everything. Joy Reid works for white supremacy. Joy Reid is representing the devil. Joy Reid don't use her platform to advocate for reparations every night. She's advocating whatever the devil say on the Democrat Party. That's what she's advocating for. She's not advocating for me and you. She plays a game to get her check. No different than when we talk about the rest of them, Boule Martin and all the other ones. They're doing that to get a check. Everybody go at Boule Martin, but Joy Reid has more dangerous sometimes than Boule Martin could be sometimes. Don't let these people fearmonger you ever again. If they want you, tell them give you something that you need, like reparations. You need reparations. What these people have done in this country, they already have the next labor class already. And Black man and woman is not you. They have imported by the millions people from Latin America with all their kids in tow. Some of them coming in here with 3 kids, 4 kids, 5, 6 kids coming in here, getting welfare, getting housing, walking around with cell phones, new clothes. Some of you can't even get that. Some of you are facing eviction right now. And they got people that come across the border, they got brand new phones in their hand. Why? Because it's done by design. That's the people that's going to do all the service jobs in this country. And as a black person, if you don't get a skill, a very skilled trade, if you don't work for yourself, you're going to be in a bad position in America from this day forward, because they have no need for black men and women no more. Now, you may say, well, we still have a position in America. The only thing you still holding on to personally is a political position. And the only reason you still kind of got that is because the majority of them don't vote. In Texas right now, they have more Latinos in Texas, but the Latinos, only half of them vote. What if they got to a point they all started voting? Then it would be something to talk about. Because it's true. It's more of them in this country than it is black Americans. Even if you include black immigrants, it's still more of them. And to be real, and we talk about the reality of what it is for black people going forward, black immigrants is not a problem. We get into these discussions about disrespect, but once we get past the disrespect side, black immigrants is not your problem if you're fighting for those service jobs. The people that come across the border and that was promoted to come across the border by corporate America and being paid for by the politicians, that's the people that's going to take the jobs. And if you don't want to get a skill, if you don't have a skill, if you don't want to work for yourself, you're going to be in trouble. These people that come across the border, they don't have a sympathy for our story. They can care less. They had nothing to do with it. That's how they're going to say, so why are you telling me? Understand? You need to right now think strategy if you're going to go out there and vote. You need to think policy. What can we do to shore up ourselves as a community? The low-skilled jobs are gone. AI and those people are going to take it. You got to be in a position where you have a skill or something you're doing that they can't do. The low-skilled labor that's coming across that border. Or something that AI can't do. And the only way we could shore up our skilled trades, shore up our businesses that we're creating, is that we got to have policies put in that's going to defend our businesses when we create them and not tax the hell out of us and let us keep our money in our pocket so we can grow our businesses and have employees, etc. And a Democrat Party will not defend black business. I don't care if you just started your business this year, brother or sister, you made $60,000 on your own. The Democrat Party will not protect you. They will not. They're not the party of business. They're the party of food stamps. They're the party of welfare. They're the party of Section 8. They're the party of unchecked immigration so they can keep low skill and low wages in this country. Understand, this country has never paid for labor. We were brought over to this country to work 250 plus years for free. This country has never been in the position of paying for labor. That's why they say that's my new labor class right there. If I'm going to pay, I'm going to pay the cheapest I can. And if I'm gonna get black people to work, I'm gonna put them black men to work in prison, and then black women where they only get paid $1 or $2 a day to work all day. And if they don't work, it's a disciplinary write-up for them, and it's gonna affect their parole hearing. That's how they get black people to work slave labor now. Understand? So we gotta think strategy. If you're going to hunker down and say, I'm going to deal with these people all my life, then you better think strategic. Because I've heard black people say, I can't even get a McDonald's job anymore. The people from south of the border got all the jobs. Yeah, they do. And they're going to continue to get them. As long as you're begging white people for a job, white people are in control of who they hire. And of course, I'm talking now as a businessman, not your brother. As a businessman, you want the lowest wage worker you can get and have the highest production. That's how you make the money. Working from home also changed everything because you can get people from overseas. Same thing, doing work and don't have to pay. So you really got to think about the world you're living in, black people. So who you putting in office can't be on no fear mongering no more because that's not getting it. Because one thing that Democrat Party is doing is making sure to take care of immigrants coming across that border. Not the black ones. Because we remember Haiti, they grabbed the Haitians and sent they behind right back to Haiti. So you can't say the Haitians coming over here taking all the jobs. You can't say the Ghanaians and the Nigerians and all the different people are coming to take the job, because they're not. The people that's taking your job, quote unquote, if you want to work for white folks, they can take it. It's people south of the border. Guatemala, Nicaragua, El Salvador. Understand what I'm saying? Places like that. That's who's coming over. And you don't control. That's why I go back again. Yes, we built America, but we don't control nothing in America. So we don't control immigration. Neither are we lining up to sign up for them jobs to work on the border either. So we're not even nowhere near the situation and how they coming in. It's a big business to get people here in this country illegally. People making a bag all the way around making a bag. But us as black people, if we don't get together, we don't unify, we don't step our game up with skilled trades. If we're going to go to college, get something that is needed, that you can't just get somebody across the border to do. Listen, they can't get somebody across the border to be a doctor. They can't get nobody just across the border to be a radiology tech. You know, I'm talking about something with a skill. Black people start focusing on a skill. Because if you don't have a skill, you will be left behind. Now, individual black people will be okay. They're going to be some black people who live very, very good in America and throughout the world because they saw what was already coming and they prepared themselves. Some people may say, you know what, y'all can have that mess. I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to my other house. I got somewhere else. I got me a place in Turks and Caicos. I got me a place in freaking Ghana. I got me a place in South Africa. I got a place in Suriname. I'm going somewhere with black folks. I'm just not dealing with these people. Y'all can have it. Some people going to say that, and at this point in the game, that would be wise. Because one thing rich people have is multiple passports. They have multiple homes, multiple bank accounts. Study them. They love the passport flex. That's what rich people do. They got citizenships in many countries. They got money. They're not trying to hold themselves nowhere. I watch some kind of people all the time. I say that's the flex to have when you can have multiple citizenships. And you can go to these countries because you're citizen. You don't have to sign up for a visa. But they're going to continue to try to push this fear on you and fear and fear and fear. They're going to tell you you're not black. They're going to have people coming out here trying to talk down to you and get you. Why are you going to go out there and go do all that voting for them? And for them across the board to benefit, for LGBT to benefit, for everybody to benefit. And then all these people talk down on black people. So don't cry and complain about your position in America if you're going to continue to go vote for that party that makes sure everybody else is shored up and not the black community. Because I told y'all a long time ago, I'm going to make sure Philip and his tribe is taken care of. You better believe that. And you're supposed to do that in your household. You supposed to take care of you and your family. I definitely want to work with the community as much as possible. But understand, I'm not going to let the community take me down personally. No. If y'all want to go out there and keep voting for Democrats, keep doing it. But when that prophecy come true to say that your net worth is zero, remember, you participated in why it got to zero. because you kept voting for a party that's invested in putting you down. They're not invested in bringing you up. I'm not saying Republicans are invested in bringing you up, but doggone it, if we're going to do for ourselves, then I'd rather deal with people that's going to benefit us coming up in the area of business and won't tax us to death. She's talking about all the books and all that. We shouldn't be looking at them to educate us. Why are you asking the devil to educate you? You educate yourself. That's your problem now. You're depending on them to do everything. That's the biggest mistake you ever made, is looking at them to do everything for you. We do for ourselves as a community. But the fear mongering, ladies and gentlemen, has started. Joy Reid is starting the fear mongering campaign. Joy, shame on you. Stop making black people afraid. Let's talk about black people getting reparations. Why don't you bring that up? How about that? Because black people need reparations at this point. It's not even about a vanity thing. It's needed. Don't let these people make you afraid and benefit these people again. Look at what you got during this administration. Look at what you got. Nothing. You were forgotten. You were told like all kind of things. When Biden got in there, remember? Telling them you got to work with the Hispanics if you want something. Not even acknowledging black folk. Black Lives Matter asked Biden to have a meeting. Biden say, F y'all. I'm not meeting with y'all. And that's Black Lives Matter. Completely left-wing organization. He didn't want to meet with them. Like, how much more y'all gonna keep playing with Biden and the Democrats? Stop letting people get on here who do it very well for themselves financially tell you to go and vote for a party that's not even affecting them because they doing good. Stop being a political chump, like Malcolm said, and actually have some common sense. Don't let these people fearmonger you. Well, let me know what you think about, this situation with Joy Reid. But like I said, Joy, she just doing what her paymasters put her up to do. It's up to you to say it don't work no more.
Now, family, you heard what our good brother Philip Scott had to say there, and I let that play in its entirety for a reason, because, see, now that we see that, everything that brother stated, everything that myself, our good brother Tariq, brother Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, Tarian Rain, you can go on and on, our good sister Vicky Dillard, everything that we've been trying to tell you that these damn dirty Democrats were going to do, it has come to pass in spades. We told you the reason why they were opening the floodgates to allow all them immigrants over here, like I showed you earlier in the broadcast. They know they're completely anti-black, and then they graft them into white society to use as a buffer class against us. And then you turn around and you vote for that again? Only somebody that's insane would do that. So what we have to do now that we understand that information, now is the time to get it right. Because, see, family, let me encourage you on something, particularly our sisters. I understand why a lot of women went out and voted for Joe Biden, because they were scared to death of Trump. Trump was the Antichrist. This is what we need now. Brothers, we got to come together with these sisters and get a consensus amongst them and tell them, listen, we cannot make decisions out of fear. Not black men, not black women. We make decisions out of a place of common sense and a common agenda that's going to benefit Black America. That's what we have to make decisions from, not fear. If you're afraid, you need to pause and think, okay? Because, see, understand this. What more can these people do to us than they've already done? When you see that cricket wig, blonde hair for Joy Ann Reid and the rest of them, old buffet boule master, Roland Martin, as I call him, Port Chopman's prime ribs Martin. But they sitting over there. You see he eating good. He ain't missing no meals. You see what I'm saying? They gonna say whatever they have to say to keep the buffet rolling in for Boule Martin and keep that cricket blonde wig on her head for Joanne Reed. Okay, that's all they're concerned about getting their check for. But see, you and the rest of you are sitting at home that are not doing as well as them. They don't care about you. Don't let them people use you like that. You understand? We don't have time to be playing with them people like that. Cause see, family, I'm gonna show you something on your screen right here. show you something, right? What I want you to take a look at are these two clowns, okay? Salute to a good brother, Nathaniel Perry, for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. These two clowns right here, take a good look at this before I let this play. They sitting up here with old jackass Jim Crow Joe. You got that fake plant, and I'm going to call him what he is. He's a groomed Democratic shield plant, Justin Pearson with the badly kept afro, and the corny imitation and insult to Dr. Martin Luther King. And then you have Justin Jones sitting over there, the little half-black Filipino dude with the ponytail. And you see you got Chameleon Kamala Harris sitting over there. Family, this type of symbolism, that's not going to cut it. Nobody should be going for that this time around. Like Phil, and I stated earlier in the broadcast, and you heard Dr. Claude Anderson speak. If you just joining us, that was at the beginning. We don't have time to play those games. I want y'all to listen to this, right? I'm going to play this for a reason. I want y'all to check this out.
You're standing up for our kids. You're standing up for our communities, safe communities, and democratic values. That's what it's all about. And you're all three of you speak so well about why you're doing what you did and why you continue to do it. Look, what the Republican legislature did was shocking, it was undemocratic, and it was without any precedent. But you turn it around very quickly. You're standing up for our kids, you're standing up for our communities, safe communities, and democratic values. That's what it's all about. And you're all three of you speak so well about why you're doing what you did and why you continue to do it. Look, what the Republican legislature did was shocking, it was undemocratic, and it was without any precedent. But you turn it around very quickly.
Mr. President, what do you want so I can get to answer your question?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's go. Guys, let's go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Stay tuned. Mr. President, what do you want so I can get to answer your question?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's go. Guys, let's go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Stay tuned.
Now, family, you see that, right? Those two jackasses are sitting up there in front of this man. They didn't bring up any issues relevant and germane to black people's issues, okay? They never do. They got plenty of performative blackness, but see, we don't need that in this country right now as regards to anything with black people's issues. And salute to everybody that's joining us in here. I see we got a few more people in here. Good brother Rob, I'm going to tell you something like this. Whether Trump go to jail or not, that's irrelevant to black people. But see, here's the thing, though, brother. Think about it like this. Let me put you up on something. I want you to bear witness to this because it's going to play out this way. My brother, they're not going to send that man to jail. So see, let's think about what that means, right? If they send Trump to jail off of the crap that they charging him with, and I'm not a Trump fan, but I'm just speaking common sense, that opens the door to start locking up other American presidents. Understand what white supremacy is, and you're educated. I know this is not going to go over your head. They're not going to lock up white men like that. Not that was in a symbol of power like that. No, that's just political theater, brother. Mark my words, what's going to happen, it's going to be a lot of little fanfare behind it. They probably going to issue him some type of warning or whatever, or like some type of stern declaration, censure or whatever, but that man's not going to jail. I'm going to tell you why they can't afford to do that. The Democrats know that if they were to do that, you think January 6th was bad. Trump's base is a bunch of white supremacist nutcases. That would be making a martyr of that man. You understand me? That would make him a political martyr. They're not stupid. They're trying to stall so they can come up with a strategy for who they're gonna, if they're not gonna replace Joe Biden, or to try to see how they can finesse black people to get them to vote for him again. But nah, don't count on that, man. That man's not going to jail. You think about what that would mean for a person that held the highest office in America. They start locking up American white male presidents. No. Mark my words on that. I'll put money on that, brother. He's not going to jail. I'm gonna call that right now. I mean, hold me to that. Mark my words, the man is not going to get locked up. But I digress. Whether he gets locked up or not, or whether he wins office again or not, the main point is we're going to stay focused on our issues. Because, see, family, a lot of y'all forgot who Jim Crow Joe was. And I told you I was going to load tonight's broadcast. I'm going to refresh your memory because, see, when you listen to this bastard, none of y'all should have ever voted for this man. See, this is why I say history is a weapon when it's used right. And we have to remind you all of who these people are. Some of y'all be thinking that they've changed. Some of y'all be thinking, well, maybe this person is better than this one. No, we have to start thinking from a place of if this is not beneficial to our people, and we deserve it more than anybody else in this country. We are the ones that when we ask or demand for something, they shouldn't tell us no about anything when you start breaking down the numbers on just how much they owe us. If you've been over here in New Black Media Space, we've gone over that chapter and verse. The information is out there for you to find. In fact, while I got your attention before I play this blast from the past on this demonic old bastard, you know what I'm finna put in the chat room, right? Because, see, I take every chance I get to bring black people up to speed on this website, foreignassistance.gov. Oh, yeah, we got to do it. I'm going to drop it in here 3 times because, see, I know that each and every time that you come over here to catch a broadcast, this might be your first time over here to my channel. So, therefore, even if I've given the information out before, I do it again because, see, the way that you properly educate your people is by constantly circulating useful information that you intend to act on. Go on foreignassistance.gov, study just how much of our tax dollars are being sent overseas. Ukraine is one, and then they're going to turn around and, ooh, we ain't got it with black folks. No, you don't. What you do, let me tell you why I'm dropping that in the chat before I let this old wrinkled up bastard talk here. What you do, especially if you go into these reparations hearings, you go and study that site. You take you some notes from that site, and then you construct that down and craft it into within 2 minutes, because that's usually about how much they give you to speak. And you bring up those numbers. See, when you're talking hard numbers, that's where you rub their face back into the BS they're trying to shove in front of us when they're talking about they ain't got it. You can go on that site and quote chapter and verse. Oh, no, don't tell us you don't have money for reparations because here you just sent XYZ billions amount to Ukraine. You sent this over here to Mexico this way. Just go and look on that site. You detail that and you use the numbers when you're talking sense, not feelings. Not about apologies. Apology ain't worth 2 dead flies unless it's coming with some tangibles. You understand me? So that's why I dropped that website in that chat. Y'all use that as a tactical asset when you constructing your arguments and making the case for reparations. See, we got the history part right. Okay, we got that. That tool right there that I just dropped in the chat room 3 times, that's the present day mathematics that you need to add structure and weight to your argument. So when you tell them, listen, if you got money to give these non-citizens, you damn sure got money to address the greatest crime, the Holocaust that happened to foundational black Americans on our soil that we built. It's a long overdue debt. You should have been paid it. Now it's time to pay the piper, or else don't ask us for a vote. That's how you use tools like that, family. So what I want to do, I want to play some things to show you the character old Uncle Joe here that everybody's running around and voting for. Oh, he was so much better than Trump. I want y'all to listen to this. Let's refresh your memory.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others to change attitudes.
When I was about the age of the guy standing over there, I got involved in the civil rights movement. You know, when I was a teenager in Delaware, for real, I got involved in the civil rights movement.
I was not an activist. I worked at an all-black swimming pool in the east side of Wilmington, Delaware. I was involved. I was involved in what they were thinking, what they were feeling. I was involved, but I was not out marching. I was not down in Selma. I was not anywhere else.
More than once, advisors had gently reminded Mr. Biden of the problem with this formulation. He had not actually marched during the civil rights movement, and more than once, Mr. Biden assured them that he understood, kept telling the story anyway. That is really, really weird.
Now, that's a bit of a reminder about how big of a liar that stomped down anti-black racist and author of not only the 94 crime bill, but you can go and look this up as well. See, this is why it's good to be educated about more than entertainment and sports. Oh, this is why they hate us over here in the New Black Media. His name is on every crime bill since 1976. He's bragged about it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Go and look that up. Even Strom Thurmond vote when that stomped down anti-black racists and former Klansmen, may he rest in peace. He even said it was too harsh to enact the 94 crime bill, right? So now before we end the broadcast tonight, I want you to analyze this by our good brother Phil here, because he makes another good point on some things that we must address before we leave the broadcast here tonight. Because see, I'm arming you with things that are going to present you logical food for thought when you come across these bisexuals. And if you're a bisexual, listen, that's okay. You got it wrong. Now it's time to get it right, because you can't argue with anything we said. You can't present anything to us that shows where black people who got this bastard in office have been a priority. You can't show us anything that you can say, you know what? Well, he did this and this is good for us. Our economic situation have improved here. You can't show us that. It's gotten worse. And on top of that, they're adding these anti-black immigrants over here on top of the matter, okay? So I want y'all to listen to this that I'm about to play, and we're going to make some points before we wrap up here tonight. Let's let this play.
So as we continue to speak loudly about our reparations claim that is owed as a debt to black Americans, we know that the California Reparations Commission has just wrapped up their public meetings, and they're supposed to submit everything to the California legislator. Now, this is the thing about that. See, at one point in time, they thought that reparations, y'all talking about reparations, and y'all not getting it, whatever. We ain't paying attention to y'all. And then now reparations have become mainstream. And they're like, oh, wait, whoa. Because now, of course, we know them folks don't like reparations whatsoever. Because anything that's positive for black people, we know the folks don't like that. But we need to discuss something else. We need to discuss these other groups outside of them folks speaking against our reparations. Reparations has nothing to do with them. They didn't have a hand in anything that happened to us. They was nowhere in the midst at all. But yet, when we start talking about reparations, here they come. These other groups are so entitled that they think anything that we supposed to get, they supposed to get. Black folks are supposed to get anything for the harm and for the wrongs of black people. Now, we're going to review two clips today. The first clip, I want you to hear what this guy says. He's from the Hispanic community. Listen to this.
Okay, who else has got it? Over here?
If it's about discrimination as well, where do other races fall in all this, such as the Hispanic community or the Asian community? Do they get, monetary value as well? Or is it more focused on just, one community?
So anytime we talk.
I'm going to interject right here. I got an answer for him. Boy, I wish I would have been there. You get nothing. You get nothing. Every group that's over here now, let me make this clear, and I want you brothers and sisters to start beating the drum on this. You Hispanics that are identified as white, you historically fought for the right to be classified as white. If you follow me on Twitter, I presented evidence of that. You already know on this channel, I covered the LULAC situation many times. You Asians, you too fought historically for the right to be classified as white. So that's what you are. Okay, you can't claim to be oppressed and want to be a member of the oppressor class. Okay, so since you've chosen that side, that's the side you on. East Indians, similar situation. Every other group that has come over here, if you came here for a better life built off the backs of my people, then that's your reparations right there. And if you have an issue with the United States government, then here's what you need to do. You need to look at the work that my people, foundational Black Americans, our tribe, put in. We did not leave this country, our country, in large numbers. We stayed here for decades and put in the work that it takes to get it to this point where reparations is on the table. So therefore, what you need to do is get with your community, go organize, and seek your claim from the United States government, but you're not going to get in on ours. Oh, hell no. Not as long as brothers and sisters like myself are still alive. Oh, no, that's not going to happen. I'll be down. Oh, no. We're tired of carrying you because, for one, we've helped every other group, even the Jewish community, get their reparations. The Asians, when they were in internment camps. Go and look everything up that I'm saying. You had black people, the likes of Jesse Jackson, whoever that you can name, advocating for them to get justice served them and produced to them. But then when it's time for us to get compensated, you have like people like Bernie Sanders. Oh, reparations are not feasible. Fuck you and everything you stand for, Bernie, and everybody else with that mindset. Yeah, I'm saying it straight like it is. So no, if you came over here, fact the business, let me tell you something. If you came over here for a better life, especially when our people were still enslaved, guess what? You owe reparations too. You damn right. The nerve of you with your hand out talking about what you supposed to get. See, this is why we keep telling y'all about that bullshit black and brown coalition. Ain't no brown people. Who the fuck is brown, huh? You better go back and look at my broadcast on this channel if you one of them people. The brown people are classified as white. They try to hopscotch between being brown, being white, indigenous. Nope. You white. You white. What you put on your driver's license and your paperwork, that's what you are. You wanted it, you gonna own it. That's the mindset we got to be on. So when these people start talking like that, check them with the history. You ain't got to call them no names. All you got to do is hit them with the truth and the facts. That's how you deal with them. So that's what I would have told them. But hey, I digress. I want y'all to finish listening to this. Let's let it continue.
About Black Americans and reparations, or what's happening today and how it connects to chattel slavery. Everybody suddenly wants to talk about everything else. Let's talk about classism. And there is an intersection between classism and sexism. But we're not talking about that right now. Now you want to say, well, what about everybody else? This is what happens. This is why nothing has been done all this time, because we can't stay focused on one issue at a time. We're talking about something very specific that we want to address that has not been addressed. So we need to face that first. Once we do that, well, while that's happening, we can be addressing other things too. But we can't keep gaslighting and being like, well, people who are poor, they're dealing with issues too. People who are from the Asian community are dealing with issues too. No one said that they weren't. But we're trying to deal with one issue and get solutions for that first, because it should have happened a long time ago and it still hasn't happened. So it's time to pay up.
And when I heard that, ladies and gentlemen, I was like, ooh, I wish I was there. Because if he'd have told me, what about our community? What about the Hispanic community? I'm like, what about it? We're talking about reparations for Black Americans, those who are descendants of slaves. Sir, is your family descendants of slaves in this land? In this land. I'm not talking about what happened in Mexico. I'm not talking about what happened somewhere else. I'm talking about in this land. Are you a descendant of slaves in this land? And we know good and well you're not. So why are you even speaking up? What about you? What is the main thing that his family said when they came here? We're coming here for a better life. We're coming here to work. We're coming here so our kids are not put in a situation like they were in my homeland. So they came over here. They got their jobs. They got their family straight. They're sending money back. They got actually what they come here for. So that alone, they should be thankful to this country and definitely Black America, because if it wasn't been for Black America, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to come in and do anything. Let's call it what it is. And even some of the rights and protections that they have, they wouldn't have had it unless Black Americans died for it. So if anything, you're getting what you came over here for. You coming to America is your reparations. Understand? Because of the life that you're living. Now, you talking about discrimination that happens. That's part of America. We've been fighting that. Instead of clicking up with Black folk, instead of saying, look, we're going to come together as one because we're dealing with an issue. Let's Black people get together. Let's Hispanics get together. And let's go after these white supremacists. What happened in history? The Hispanic people did not want to get in unification with Black people. We're talking about historic. We know LULAC and Felix Chiarina, they did not want to get with us. He said that the Black folks' problems are their problems. That has nothing to do with us. When they could have unified with Black folk. We just talk about history here. They, in LULAC and the rest of them fought for the ability to be called white. When the United States was going to give them the classification as Mexican, they didn't want the classification as Mexican. They wanted to become white. This is U.S. history I'm talking about. So they had the chance to ally with Black people as a collective. I'm not talking about individuals who are good people, individuals who are allies. We're talking about the collective, right? So now that Black folks are taking a next stand about reparations, you can't backdoor and talk about what about us? Because if you didn't want to unify when you came here as a collective, If you don't want to stand with us on everything as a collective, then black folks begged y'all to stand with us. Black folks are begging for a black and brown coalition forever. Black folks were. It wasn't on the other side. Let's call it what it is. It was black folks, black and brown, black and brown, black and brown, black and brown. Black folks have been preaching that forever. Black folks have been looking out for brown. But when it comes to this is something black folks got to go at it, and we got to go at it alone. And we don't need nobody to get in on this. We got it. So when it comes to him and what he's talking about, why didn't you talk about that, sir, prior to us talking about reparations? If you feel the United States owe your group something, go get it. I'm not, see, one thing about us as black folk, we're not going to stand in your way. We're not going to speak against it. We're not going to speak down on it. If they owe you something, go get it. Have at it. And if you can get it, go ahead. But nobody's going to be attaching themselves to what we got going on, because nobody else was attaching themselves to the plantation fields. We were on them plantation fields in America, picking the cotton and doing the tobacco and the sugar cane and all the different things that we have done in this country. So reparations is owed to the descendants of slaves, and that's why they said lineage-based reparations. Lineage-based. It's not for racism. It's not for discrimination. It's not for they just don't like you. No, it's for slavery and everything that's attached to slavery and the harms that came from slavery and policies that was birthed out of slavery that's still here to this day. Understand? That's what reparations is about. Now, case in point, let's get to the next clip here. I want you to listen to this guy. He's going to interview a lady in his community, an Asian person. Listen to what she says.
In San Francisco, they're looking to pay reparations for black people. Should Americans pay for reparations?
Why is it just for black people?
I think it's to right the wrongs of like previous injustices such as slavery.
Is it a trial or a study?
No, I think it's just like a bill that's being proposed.
Oh, okay. There's other things in the world and in San Francisco that need to be addressed.
Do you think reparations would de-incentivize personal responsibility and hard work, or would it have positive effects?
I don't think it would have positive effects. I don't.
Now, you seen her attitude about it. At the end, she felt that reparations would not be a positive thing. This woman right here in her community has gotten millions of dollars out of the black community. The black hair care industry is controlled by her community, not the black community. They put their shops in all kind of black communities. They nail shops, beauty supply stores, restaurants, everything they have built in the black community. What do you mean it's not positive? Black folks always go into your businesses. If black folks get reparations, guess who's gonna get a lot of it? You. Because you know how some of them women, I'm not gonna say just about all, black women are, they're gonna get their nails done. They gotta get their hair products, right? They gotta get all, well, okay, if those women got money, guess what? You're gonna get it. So what you mean is not positive. You should be the last person that should be against reparations. But these other groups feel, well, if I can't get it and only black people can, then I am against it. Then you have some of them say, well, what about my tax dollars? Your tax dollars are owed to the government. Well, I don't want to pay reparations. If the government has to pay, it's coming out of everybody's tax dollars. And if you don't want to pay your taxes, go ahead and don't pay them. Just don't pay. Say you're not paying taxes because they gonna give reparations to black people. On a federal level, don't pay it. You'll see what happens to you with the IRS. They will have a good jail cell waiting for you. We talking about California, your state taxes. Just don't pay it. Don't pay your state tax. Let's see what ends up happening to you with California at the end. Either you're going to pay your taxes or you're going to jail. And not only that, they repossess all your stuff. I mean, they do all kind of stuff when it comes to taxes. So no, you're going to pay your taxes. That's just how that works. But these people who come over here to a country already built, left their homeland where they have their own people in their own country, and then come over here, look at black folk, and then try to talk down on black people, tell us what we not doing, calling us lazy, calling us this, calling us that, and everything else. But then they the first one to try to line up with black folk when it's time for black folk to get something. This is why black people, we have learned that we have no collective allies. We have none. We are on our own here in America and throughout the world. We are on our own. It is black folks versus everybody. That's really what it is. If you think about it, no collective group support black people unless they can use us, steal from us, abuse us, get over on us. This is globally I'm talking about. You're only our friend when you want something. That's it. And then you don't even have the common sense to be like, let me be cool with these people because these people are helping me get some money. They my people. You would think they would think like that, but they don't. These other groups, like I said, they trying to be stumbling blocks for us to get our reparations. But see, I always told y'all a long time ago about these other groups. That's light work. That's really light work. They don't have the staying power to be against us like that. They really don't. They'll say something, they'll gripe. The only thing they can do is assist the white supremacists. That's really the only thing they can do. And the white supremacists will throw them underneath the bus in 2 seconds. We all know this. So when you hear these other groups griping, saying about what about us? Well, I can't get it. Well, why should you guys get it and all that? Listen, when I told y'all about don't waste your time arguing with the white supremacists about reparations, it's a time waster. We need to take that energy to focus on reparations, to keep reparations out there in the world. Keep speaking in the spirit. See, when you say we're going to get reparations, you're actually doing what the Bible tells you to do. The Bible say, call those things that be not as though they were. You understand? See, black people, you're actually practicing a spiritual law, a universal law that God put in the earth. You keep saying, oh, we're going to get reparations. Oh, we're going to get it. Listen, I don't care what you say. We're going to get it. Because at one point in time, you say we're going to get off the plantation. And we kept saying we'll get off of that. We got off, right? At one point in time, you said that we'd never have any kind of free movement in America. We got that to a point. So when it comes to this reparations, we going to get reparations. And they going to pay it. And matter of fact, they going to willingly pay it. They are. Because it's actually going to benefit them to pay reparations. Because they know the majority of black America is not going to just take the money and leave. They know that. Some of us will take the money and leave, but the majority won't. They know if they give black folks that money, then businesses going to get started in the black community. Well, when businesses get started, taxes getting paid on state level and on the federal level. Black folks can actually hire people, can give jobs in the community. That stimulates the economy. That gets people off of unemployment. Black people can get off of being homeless. That would actually help society, get those people off the streets in homes and have them get a job and pay taxes and be productive members of society again. That benefits the country, right? Black folks need cars. That's going to benefit the country. Black people are going to do all kind of buying homes and anything that black people need. It's going to be an injection of cash into American society. Those idiots say, well, it's going to be a bunch of inflation. That's not the way America works. America needs you to spend. That's the way the economy works in America. If you don't spend, it actually hurts the economy. All the companies will be salivating for black people to get reparations. We know there's anti-black racists out there. Of course, they don't want black people to have it, but we're going to get reparations. It's going to happen. You other groups, those of you who standing against it, it's not your business. You came to this country. You're doing well for yourself. You felt that your promised land was to come to America, work, build yourself up, do whatever. Okay, some of you have made it. Great. I'm happy for you. But you got to pay taxes in this United States of America. And you incur the debts of any country that you go live in. Why didn't you say nothing about your tax dollars about all that money going to Ukraine. You do know you can go to a website, I think it's usaid.gov. You can go see all the countries that get money. You'll get your tax dollars. You don't say nothing about that, but when your fellow countrymen, Black Americans, even talking about a debt that's owed to them, it's a problem because you can't get it. And not every Black person is going to get it. That's the thing. Just because a person's quote unquote Black, they're not going to get it. It has to be, it's lineage-based reparations. Understand? They have to trace their ancestors back to the plantation fields of America. So just because they have 2 million Black people in California, don't mean all 2 million getting it. Understand? We can't allow racism, discrimination, skin color be the qualification for reparations. That means all of y'all gonna be worming your way into it. We know that. That's why we speak in that type of message. But don't waste your time, brothers and sisters, arguing with these other groups about our reparations. We don't even have time because, number one, they ain't have nothing to do with it. And they not going to make a decision with it, personally. We need to keep the fight for what it is. Keep speaking at it. We're going to get reparations. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're going to have to do reparations. They're going to have to do it. Reparations, for at least for the Democrat Party, is going to have to probably be their new civil rights bill. You understand? It's like they got loyalty out of Black people because of the civil rights bill. Well, this generation of Black people have no loyalty because the civil rights bill means nothing to us like that. But reparations means something to us. So whoever do reparations, let's say if California do reparations and Gavin Newsom, he do reparations, it passed, right? Black people getting their checks. The Black people in California will gladly vote for Gavin Newsom and the Democrat Party. I already know because, hey, man, they paid us. And something that the LA Times has said that it was interesting. They said they put in a proposal that if a Black person live in California for 6 months or more, they can get a reparations claim too, as long as their lineage trace back to slavery. Now, the interesting part about that is, I said, are they trying to draw Black America to California? Because a lot of Black Americans say, shoot, they pay reparations. Man, let me go ahead and move to California for a little while so I can get some reparations checks. That because, you know, the Black population then kind of exit out of California. That will draw a lot of Black people to California if they're going to pay reparations. But we'll see. Because this conversation, and like I said, we got the elections coming up. Black folks are not enthusiastic at all about Joe Biden because Joe Biden has not done nothing for us. And we're not even focusing on Biden and what he got going on. We're focusing on reparations because Biden has been horrible. He's been horrible for the country. He has America looking weak. I mean, this man don't know if he's coming and going. This man need to retire and go to Delaware and live his life and ride his bike like he liked to do and go eat ice cream. And he just needs to go do that. Enjoy his life. Because the business of this country, no. They don't even want nobody even challenging Biden if you paying attention to that. But let me know what y'all think about, you know, this situation by these other groups. Because these other groups are entitled, y'all. They so entitled to believe that they demand to get what we get, even though they don't fight for it. That's the thing. I would understand if they was foot to pavement, if they were going to jail, if they had the dogs biting on them, the water hoses, hanging from trees, I would get it if they was in the fight. They haven't been in the fight back then. They not in the fight now. When it's time for us to step to white supremacy, they looking at us like, you know, well, Black people, what y'all gonna do? And they'll sneak behind Black people and throw something or sneak behind Black people, whatever, but they not on the front lines. We on the front lines. So they don't fight anything. Matter of fact, they get mad at us because we speak against white supremacy. Because they want to go along to get along with white supremacy, and we know firsthand, go along to get along don't work. Because the white supremacists is actually going to mess with you more when you go along to get along. Because he see that as weak. When black people stand up for themselves, he respects us a lot more. These other groups don't get that because they don't want to be deported. Well, where the white supremacists going to deport us to? See, he can deport them back to their countries, but he can't deport us because we built this land. Y'all let me know what y'all think, about all of this. And also, make sure your first time here, subscribe to the channel and leave some super chats. Because, hey, bless us now. We putting in this work. We're trying to put in this work every day for y'all. Definitely trying to do it Sunday through Friday. And we want to make sure to put some good, work out there for y'all. So bless us with some super chats. If not, after program, super thanks. We appreciate your generous giving, and we'll definitely see you on the next one.
Now you heard our good brother Phil run it down, and look, we see it happening, and that's exactly how it is. He even showed you examples of how entitled some of these other groups are, okay? And I put it in the chat. Hey, y'all know me. I have jokes. No anti-black spring roll formed against us shall prosper. And I have to mention something our good brother Information Man Show said. A lot of that is our fault for their businesses prospering. We have to change our mindset on that. See, listen, if somebody is going to be anti-black towards us and their businesses don't have nothing we don't need, we need, then we don't spend our money with them. So brother Information Man Show, you right on that. A lot of them prospering like that and then disrespecting us, why would they have a reason to stop it? We keep spending our money. We're going to have to change that mindset, family. We're going to have to change that. And we can change it too, okay? Like Brother Field said, we got to get into the habit. Some of us already have been, but the greater majority of black people have to elevate our self-esteem and stop talking about what these people are not going to do. No, we're going to make them produce justice. That's what we need now. That's the energy and top of time we on now. So I have to further encourage you with this, family. I have to further encourage you with this before we get out of here tonight. Family, listen. What you're looking at on your screen, it says, name a food that you flat out refuse to eat. I'm going to tell you what my food that I flat out refuse to eat is. You ready to know what it is, family? It's called bullshit. Don't eat any donkey party bullshit. It's not good for you. It ain't healthy. Spit that Democratic Party bullshit out. We got to have our tangibles. We need some healthy tangibles on our plate. That's what we need. That's my food that I refuse to eat. I'm not eating that, okay? And I don't want any of you eating it either, okay? So, family, tonight's broadcast was brought to you in a comprehensive way to give you logical facts on why you should not vote for that damn Democratic Party coming up. And if you did, it's okay. It's time to get it right now because we don't have time to be playing any games. I've given you information in the chat. You've received information over here from some of our elders and grandmaster teachers like Dr. Claude Anderson. It's up to you to take that information and use it. So before we go tonight, as I said, before we get out of here, I want to encourage you to go and subscribe to our good brother, Sincere Love to God's channel. Check out his work. Check out the album, The Master's Table. A lot of good, healthy food for thought. Just as you are what you eat, you are what you think. And there's a lot of good food for thought in that brother's album. So please go subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to the good brother Philip Scott channel as well. And you should all be subscribed to Brother Tariq, Jason Black, Professor Black, True Tarian Rain, on and so forth. So with that said, thank everybody for contributing here tonight. And thank you for Nathaniel Perry for the extra cash out there. Thank you, good brother. So with that said, salute Black first. And before we go, I almost forgot the special announcement. Can you believe it? I am aware that old Miss Ann, just barely Pearly, is back running her mouth again. I'm going to have something for her coming up. Oh yeah, but stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm going to roast her from pillar to post with straight facts, and I'm going to break down some things that a lot of people might be afraid to say. You know I don't play that game. In fact, I think our good brother Jason Black is hosting a broadcast on The Business tonight dealing with that. But yes, I've been made aware of it. A lot of you, I check my emails, inbox on all my different platforms. I got something for. Just stay tuned. So with that said, Black first, take care of yourselves. Remember, it's tangibles or nothing. I will see you all in future broadcasts. Salute.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tariq Nasheed, and I'm inviting you to the Foundational Black American Expo going down May 27th, 2023, right here in the beautiful city of Dallas, Texas. This is an event you don't want to miss. It's going down at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, and this is an empowerment event that you can invite the whole family to. We're going to have seminars and workshops that discuss things like business development, education, health and wellness, self-defense, and some of you businesses out there, we have vending opportunities where you can promote your businesses. Plus, we're gonna have so many phenomenal speakers and guests. We got people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, who's coming down, Professor James Small, Sister Vicky Dillard, Riza Islam, Dr. Kaba Kamene, Ben X, Tahuti Mayad Ra, Erica Lachey, Red Pill, Blue Pill, so many people. So yo, get your tickets now at FBAexpo.com. That's FBAexpo.com. We will see you here.